Hello. We're back with episode 4 of Somehow I Dad, the podcast about dad life from our own perspectives. I'm Garrett, coming to you today from Rockford, Illinois. Joining us today from Ohio, the land of, here's Gordo.
Hey.
The husband still for sale, who washes dishes with a garden hose, gives his children Sprite at midnight, currently residing in Alabama, Sir Tyler Giddens.
Good evening, kings and queens above 18.
And Abe Phillips is usually here, but he had an emergency work call. He may be joining us later if he gets done early. But joining us in his place is our first guest, second guest besides Gordo's son Mason, is my good friend TJ Weaver. TJ, why don't you introduce yourself?
What's going on? So I'm TJ. I am 30. I'm from Seattle. Got 4 kids, which is far too many. And I work in construction. I'm a veteran. And that's about it. Musician.
Heck yeah. We've got a great episode in store for you guys. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we had a pretty solid day. We had, what day was that? It was last Friday. I had off work. They weren't off school, but we just kind of surprised them with just like a little family day. Took them to the arcade. We were trying to figure out something that we could do like around Evie and bring Evie and Riss and around nap time and everything. So the arcade was it. Yeah, dude, it was pretty fun. This arcade that we found actually in Mentor, Ohio, they like imported a bunch of Japanese arcade games. So they have like Real Initial D. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. Like Real Initial D
Never
arcade. It's pretty sick. I don't know if anyone likes Japanese culture like I do. It was a really fun experience. So yeah, that was a great time. Yeah, that's about it. I got the kiddos in a bowling league. So with that, I feel like an old dad saying that, but
that's awesome.
We got them some new bowling balls. We got those drilled out. We just picked them up. So yeah, that's about it. We're looking forward to, Riss was just telling me the kind of the price of what it's going to cost to get food catered for Evie's birthday. So definitely stoked on this promotion. It's definitely timely there. So yeah, that's about it. What's going on over here?
This doesn't really have anything to do with kids or anything. It's just a really annoying, hilarious story that happened to me. This past week, we were at my house, and I feel like most people that have a dog, picking up their poop is probably my least favorite thing in the world. So I usually will like leave it for a few days, and then like every week or so I'll go pick it up, and just have like a huge Walmart bag full of poop that I throw away. But
my first thought was that you left it like they used the bathroom in the house, and you left it for a few days. I was like,
I'm trying to get used to the smell of poop, so I don't throw up at dirty diapers when my kid comes.
Oh, you'll still throw up at dirty diapers?
No, I still throw up. Yeah. No, but so we leave it out, but we don't have like a huge backyard and it's not fenced in, so we have to take our dog out on a leash every time that we take her to go to the bathroom. And I had got home from work, said hi to Kate, and I was like, oh, I'll take the dog outside. So I take her outside. She does her thing. We come back inside, and I think we had maybe gotten some things for our nursery. So I went upstairs, put some things for the nursery together. Came downstairs. She had finished up dinner. We ate dinner. And then I think we used a grill or something. We cleaned it, and I went to go put it downstairs. And Kate was like, "Garrett, there's poop on the stairs going downstairs. Like, what happened?" I was like, what do you mean what happened? And I turn around, and there's just poop everywhere, all over these stairs. And then I realize I haven't taken my shoes off since I've gotten home.
Oof.
So I look in the living room, and sure enough, there's a nice trail of poop from the back door, just like every other step, because it was on only one shoe. It was on my Crocs, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely on a Croc.
It was on the Crocs. It was on the Crocs, unfortunately. It also went upstairs and got all over our carpet upstairs, and spent a solid 45 minutes just cleaning poop off the floors. It was great. It was a great introduction into getting ready for a kid.
Saturday, my wife went out to brunch with one of the worship leaders just to hang out. Being alone with 4 kids is incredibly stressful because I'm the provider. I'm not the nurturer. So I'm like starting to run through my rehearsal for Sunday. I'm like writing notes. I got my guitar out, and my youngest, Levi, comes down the stairs and walks in the office and looks at me with like this stupid grin on his face. I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "I'm poopy." And I'm like, "Cool, of course." And this was like 15 minutes after my wife left. I'm like, "Cool, you had to wait until she was gone." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, I'll go change you." And he goes, "It's wet." I'm like, "Okay, so you peed too?" And he goes, "No, poop wet. Look." And he lifts up his leg, and there's this freaking poo trail down his leg.
No, there was
And I'm just like, instantly, being the weak man that I am, looked over and just go, "Ugh." And yeah, so that was like the next. It made me think of that because it dripped on the stairs coming down from the upstairs. It was from the base of the stairs across the carpet to my office. And yeah, I love being a dad. It's like my greatest thing. Horrible. All the things you have to look forward to.
I don't really have any funny stories, but I feel like my daughter's grown up like a whole year within a week. She's like doing some crazy stuff, man. Like
Is she on White Claws now? She goes,
she's on the White Claws, the Crown Peach, Crown Apple mix with some Sprite. It's becoming a problem. It's intervention time. But no, she's eating like 10 times what she normally does. We went for breakfast Friday morning, and she ate 1.5 pancakes, like 4 pieces of bacon, and then she ate a part of Ashley's pancakes, and then she went home and ate lunch later. And she just kept eating all day. And like today's the same thing. Like she just kept eating. And I don't know why she's eating so much. And she's also like, she's got like a ton of energy, just like out, like it's not normal. Like she's just got so much more energy like this week. And she's talking a ton more, like formulating sentences a whole lot better. And it's crazy the growth from like last week to this week and to see where she is.
I was just thinking about this the other day. Do you guys remember like in high school when you could just eat like so much food all the time?
A large pizza was nothing.
Dude, like I remember I used to go to like B-dubs and can get like a large wing, a large fry, and like drink like 4 Cokes or 4 Pepsis and just like be ready to like do whatever afterwards. And now like a small is like too much. Like I don't know. Yeah.
I stopped growing at like 11 years old. So. I was like 10 years old was my peak.
You ran out of room.
Yeah. Like,
that's funny. We growing up, like I lived in Japan for a while, and then we moved from Japan to Texas. And I don't know if you guys have CC's Pizza. It's like all you can eat.
Yeah, we
had it.
Yeah.
So they do not exist in the Pacific Northwest at all. But I had them growing up in Texas. And I remember just hitting the freaking pizza at like 12, like never ending. And I realize nowadays my parents took us there because they could spend $8 and I would stuff myself on cinnamon rolls and pizza nonstop.
Absolutely.
Dude, yeah, their mac and cheese pizza. A1. That's great.
Their cinnamon rolls are like top notch.
To die for.
I didn't even. I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know they had cinnamon rolls.
Oh my god, they're the best cinnamon rolls.
They have like an apple strudel pizza too.
Yes,
that is also freaking incredible. But those cinnamon rolls.
They used to have like a Bavarian pizza. Like the topping was almost like a pudding, but it was like really, really sweet. It had like a crumble over the top. And then they changed it and it wasn't as good anymore. But that was like the best thing. I love it.
How do you guys remember this stuff?
It's that good.
You also said Whataburger was good, so I don't trust you very much.
I mean, you don't think it's good because you can't eat anything. You can't eat bread.
You know what? I can now. Joke's on you.
Oh, you can?
Down. Yep.
Whataburger is okay.
Yep. Jesus cured me.
Whataburger's all right.
I've been delivered.
I've been delivered.
I have been healed.
Gluten has entered my body again. Praise Jesus.
Well, hey, if you have a question about dad life, parenting, married life, or just general questions about Tyler believing that Sam Darnold is in fact the answer for the Panthers, please follow us and message us on Instagram Comment on YouTube at somehowiDad or email us at somehowiDad@gmail.com. This week's question is, what are some of your favorite childhood memories?
Oh man. Wow. I have a lot. I have a lot.
If you want to
Share.
share, you want to share any of them?
Just share
Just
any
say
of
you
them?
have a lot.
I mean, I have a lot, but like, I'm just gonna leave you guys hanging. You guys guess what I did
I
as a
have
child?
I have a lot of really
No.
good memories. A lot of them. Pretty great.
No, man. I
Yeah.
met this kid in. I met this kid in. I met this kid in kindergarten. His name was Andrew. We called him Andy. Andy Pryatel, and he was. He actually lives in Japan right now. He's stationed in Japan for the Air Force. But met him in kindergarten. He was like this little super shy kid that needed help tying his shoes. So I was like, "Hey, buddy, do you need help tying your shoes?" And then we're just like friends ever since. He was the best man at my wedding. But dude, we had a lot of fun growing up. I mean, we like rode the wave of the 90s together, just like two inseparable best friends. And it was like just every memory with him was great. Even like I don't even know if there was a not so good time. Okay, there was a not so good time. The first time he ever slept over, we like put a tent up in my room and he puked all over me and had to go home. So that was like the one not so good time. But dude, we'd play. We would play like cap guns. We would play the gun game every time I'd go over his house. And his parents didn't have rules. Like this kid was allowed to stay up till whatever time. Like everybody slept everywhere. He was one of 6 kids, so it was just like chaos constantly. I mean, it was literally the best. But we one of the best times was just when we got into Counter Strike. We played Counter Strike like just nonstop. It was just when the internet and like online gaming was becoming big. And so probably just, I mean, that was like the period where I drank like way too many Coca-Colas. His mom would just bring us endless chicken nuggets downstairs, like endless. I mean, it was constantly refilling chicken nuggets. She'd be like, "Oh, you guys are out," and just bring another plate down. So yeah, that was probably like just the highlight of my childhood.
Mine has to definitely be the ability to play outside in 100-degree weather and do it the entire day without a break. Like we would go outside when the sun rose, and then we came back inside when the street lights were on. Like we were outside for like 14 hours. Like it was ridiculous, and we did it every single day. Like during the summertime, we did it every day. We wouldn't even be doing anything. We would just be outside, just be sitting there and playing in dirt or something, like just something stupid. And it would be the most fun thing. Like that's the best memories I have.
Can we just agree that ability of our parents to have us gone for 12 to 14 hours gave us unreal expectations on how clean the house can be as like our age raising kids? Because my parents had free time. I'm not letting my kids in the front yard because I don't trust people.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's the same thing. It's like light came on or the sun was up. You'd eat something quick, bowl of cereal, and you'd just be out all day.
Oh,
drink
yeah,
it off like the garden hose, and never peeing in the bushes. And then, oh crap, the streetlights are about to come on. Pedal your bike as fast as humanly possible, and that was I look at it now, and I think my parents made less money than I thought they did, because you hear that they made like $50K, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so much money. Yeah. So we did a lot of road trips growing up, and I realize now, and my dad's a big history buff. So when we lived in Virginia, we'd go to like all the Civil War battlefields and stuff like that. Yeah. We lived in Texas. We drove to the Space Center in Houston and stuff like that. But that is probably some of my favorite memories growing up, were the drives to like go see the Grand Canyon or stuff like that. Stuff that I look back now and I know my parents did because they were free, except for gas money.
Yeah.
And eating out maybe once. But those were always the best.
Yeah, for sure. When I look back, I try to think of like some of what my favorite childhood memories are. I think mostly just because my grandpa passed away a few years ago, and he was like the first kind of death in our family that I've had to like kind of go through. I really just cherish any memory that I have of him. So I think that my favorite memories are just any memory that I had with my grandpa, whether that was going to car shows or I was really into drawing cars a lot as a kid. And he was like, he'd hang it every single one up on the fridge and was like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen." I remember going to visit him at work all the time. So just any day that I got to be with my grandpa was a favorite. And Abe, when he actually texted our group chat picture of Roman the other day, pulling his mattress out into the family room to like watch a movie as he fell asleep, like, dude, that was some of my favorite memories as a kid. Is like pulling the mattress out, especially if I had like a friend stay the night or like whatever, like just staying up, trying to stay up as late as you possibly can. Your mattress is in the living room. Like, I loved that.
Yeah. I said I missed waking up for cartoons. Like this whole streaming stuff is just I can't get with it.
Ruined
It's just
Saturday morning cartoons.
It ruined Saturday morning cartoons. Like,
What were some of your favorite cartoons?
Oh man, definitely Digimon, Pokemon, Beyblade. I mean, I was obsessed with Beyblade. Like, I legit was obsessed with it. We grew up in a pretty solid. My parents still live there, a pretty solid neighborhood for like other kids in the neighborhood. So we'd have like Beyblade tournaments every Saturday morning. Was like 9 a.m. Everybody knew it was like Beyblade tournament, but I'd always win. I'd always like make sure that I won. But yeah, so had to rig it a little bit.
That's funny. So when I lived in Japan, that was like from 2000 or 99 to 2001, or 2002. We on the base we were stationed at. They didn't have cartoons on TV. Like it was like the 4 channels. That was all you had, and the rest was Japanese TV. But we had friends, or my parents had friends stationed in southern Japan, and they had them, and they would literally record Saturday morning cartoons onto VHS and mail them up to us, so we would get the chance to watch it. But it was like, at that point, is all your schoolwork done? Okay, now you can watch it, and it's like Monday evening at like 7:30, and that's when I got my episode of Dexter's Lab. Or
oh wow,
can you imagine waking up on Saturday morning and be like, all I've got is C-SPAN, Food Network.
That's where you go outside. It's a military base. We had free reign. Like we'd go all over. But yeah.
My challenge for those listening is to think of some of your favorite memories as a kid, and try to recreate them with your kids. I think your kids will really enjoy some of your favorite memories and enjoy your excitement and passion, and be all in. Go out and make some memories.
All right, now we're going to hear a little bit from our sponsor. Today we got Roger from My First Spray Tan. Roger, what do you got for us here?
Oh, thank you, Gordo. Yeah, right now, you're one of them people that got to fooling around with your wife during lockdown and just so happened to be ticked about the 2020 election results. Well, boy, do I got news for you. Baby's First Spray Tan. Oh, by golly, this kit right here is going to make you best believe your little nugget of joy is going to look like old Donnie T. Peak Orange Peel season. Yep, you heard me right. That little whippersnapper gonna look like a Georgia peach tree midsummer when you're done with them. This old kit retails for $60, but tell them you know me and they'll kick you out. Nah, I'm just kidding. Can't kick you off the internet. But really, 2024 is gonna be our year. Get this kit right here and get little Tommy looking Oompa Loompish.
Thank you, Roger.
This week, I wanted to ask you guys, who are some of your biggest parental influences? Who do you guys look up to as a father? Who inspires you to be a better father? And who challenges you? I think I'll go first. I think for me, one of my biggest inspirations as a father was actually one of my life group leaders in high school. Actually was in middle school through high school. His name is Spencer Lawrence. He was like, dude, he was my best friend. He like, I don't know the only phrase that I can say that like makes sense is like he took me under his wing, and he really just taught me what it looks like to. I mean, I don't. He wasn't trying to teach me like what a father should look like, and he wasn't trying to teach me like, how to do this or how to do that specifically like as a father should. But man, he really probably had the biggest influence on me. He was just like I think he just the biggest thing is he just took me places wherever he went. Like, he's like, hey, I'm going to go to the mall with some friends. Do you want to come out? And I was like, you want me, a middle schooler, to hang out with you, like your college age friends? Like, what the heck? I remember one time for his birthday party, not birthday party, he was like in his mid 20s, I don't know. But for his
Hey,
birthday,
I still have birthday parties, bro.
but for his birthday, like me, him, and like three of his other best friends, we like went to the mall and we had there was this we had this place called Friars, and they would deep fry anything that you brought in. We like walked up to the counter. And it's this big dude, and we're like, "Hey, can we go down to the food court and get a Whopper and like have you deep fry it?" He was like, "Dude, you bring in a shoe, I'm a deep fry it. You bring in a rat, I'm a deep fry that rat. You bring in a tire, we gonna have a deep fried tire. You bring in whatever you want, we gonna deep fry it." And we're like, "Heck yeah, we'll bring in a Whopper." And he was like, "Hey, I'll give you some money. You buy me a Whopper, I want to try that too." And we're like, "Sure, yeah." So we went and deep fried a Whopper, and it was disgusting, but it was amazing all at the same time. And like, man, it inspires me to like feel like as someone who isn't like, I mean, I am a dad, but as someone who doesn't have a kid like here physically yet, I feel like I stress about like what can I do to like almost trying to force make memories and force like these special moments that I want to happen. But really, like, I feel like all your kids want to do is just be with you and just bringing them along with the things that you do, bringing them along with your friends, and even to this day, like, I mean, Spencer hasn't. I mean, he's moved away to Florida now for quite a few years, but we still talk pretty regularly and just talk about. I mean, he's got two kids now recently, and we just talk about life and catch up. And he's definitely one of the biggest influences and challenges me to be not only a better father, but just a better person in general.
Do you think that the Whopper didn't taste very good because he possibly deep fried like a tire in a shoe before you got there in the same deep fryer?
You know, I hadn't.
Or was it just
considered
like
that.
not good? Because
I hadn't
I
considered
was.
that until now.
Oh boy.
It was decent. I mean, I don't know if I would do it again. I guess I would do it again if the opportunity presented itself, but I don't know.
I
If
mean,
I'd
I,
got him on that.
I would definitely try it. I'm just not sure about a guy that would put anything in the deep fryer to deep fry my Whopper. That's questionable.
That's-
You considered the source of your deep fried Whopper. Should you just try it at home?
yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
No, I was listening to what you're saying. It was weird. So, like, my dad was a good role model, but for me, as time has passed, there's a big difference in my mind of who role modeled being a dad and who role modeled being a father. Because to me, like, my dad always provided, he worked hard, he took care of us, but I still see some stuff where like he wanted to hang out and make memories with me, but I didn't appreciate them at the time. And I see him doing it with my kids nowadays, where he wants to take them to Cabela's, could take them to a playground, stuff like that. Where at a younger age, probably the entire time I was his kid, I didn't. He was always my dad. I didn't want to always hang out with my dad. I wanted to hang out with my friends. I wanted to do my stuff. And yet now we go on backpacking trips and stuff like that just to spend time together. But at the same time, I can't be my dad in terms of like how I want to be with my kids. So I've spent a lot of time, and it's a tough balance, because there are definitely days I get home from work and I'm like, I don't want you kids around me. I'm going to close the office. I'm going to turn on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Don't come in here. Don't talk to me. But other times, I mean, it's something as dumb as like a couple of weeks ago, me and my two oldest I was raking leaves in the backyard. They got home from school and they just ran out and were jumping in leaf piles. And I like was one of the happiest things that I can like remember in a while. And just stupid stuff like that, where you want to make memories. And I don't think people really taught me that or inspired me to do it. It's more you
Yeah.
get that that realization of this is the only time my oldest son will be 7 years old. The only time my oldest daughter will be 6. It's the only time Theo will be 4, Levi will be 3. So any time that I'm not taking advantage of that, I'm wasting something infinitely valuable because I'm never going to get that time with them back.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was more, and that didn't happen, probably, to be totally honest, till like third kid, where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have all these 4 years with this kid, and I don't feel like I have 4 years worth of memories.
Yeah.
So that's me. I don't. And then my dad gave me these, and it made me think about it today when you sent me those questions. Is he gave me a mason jar full of Legos, and each Lego had like an event or an activity written on it. And as you start doing them, you start building something out of it. So this just covered like going to the zoo, going to seafair, like worshiping God, going to church, stuff like that, camping. And it's fun.
That's super
little
cool.
things like that.
Is that something that something that you guys did together, or stuff that you've done with your kids?
Just me and my kids.
That's cool.
I feel like in the era of my parents, they were born in the 60s. I was homeschooled, so I spent a lot of time with my mom.
Yeah.
But my dad, I mean, he's military. He worked, 8 to 5 every day, get home, eat dinner, exhausted, fall asleep on the couch. And I like having my fake job because I'm home by like noon every day.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to take advantage of the time with kids that I have for that very reason.
Yeah.
So that they get to see me as a dad as opposed to just a provider.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool stuff. I don't really know. I mean, definitely my dad is like my biggest, it's like the most standard answer, but I mean, really that's like the only role model dad that I've ever like modeled myself after, because he's just such a solid dad, such a great dad. So it's just, I've never had to look elsewhere for like that father figure, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super standard answer, but I would definitely say, and through all stages of life too, which I think is pretty cool. Like it's like as you have your own kids and you start watching them grow up and you start, like watching them go through their stages of life, you start to appreciate your dad for every stage that he raised you through.
For sure.
And I think that's like one of the coolest things to watch. Is it's like I remember becoming a teenager and the things that I did with my dad, and like just like starting to like punch him, like not like punch him like dad and just deck him, but like just like walk up and just like test him, just like nudge him, just little things. And like seeing Dominic starting to do that now, it's like, oh, weird, and just the conversations and just trying to remember, like really trying to tap into like, the things that my dad told me and taught me as I was becoming a young man and moving to this stage of my life. And so I think, I mean, really my baseline is my dad. Everything goes back to my dad. And it's really cool too, getting to see him get saved in my adult life, because he's just like become that much better of a dad now. Now he's the dad that I needed him to be in my adult life. And yeah, man, that's all I got.
It takes a special guy to navigate all the different types of parenting, or different seasons of parenting, that is. And it may seem like a pretty normal answer, but I don't think a lot of people can say that, like, their dad is one of their biggest influences. So yeah.
How about you, Tyler? Am I your role model?
Yeah, I think like TJ said, my dad was a really good dad. Like he always provided for us. He always worked a lot. I was homeschooled as well, so spent a lot of time with my mom. And she was pretty much like the one we spent all of our time with. So obviously I look up to him as far as like how to provide for your family and how to take care of your family. But I don't know that I'll look up to anybody for a challenge or really an influence. I really just I I know what life I want my child to have, and that's what I strive for. I guess if I had to choose an influence, it would be probably my friends, like Gordo, because he's got 3 kids, and I think he does a really good job in some of the conversations that we've had. And some of my other friends that I talk to, I feel like we kind of hold each other accountable. They hold me accountable, and kind of set the standard of how to raise your children and how to give them a better life. I think it's a combination of everything together.
Yeah. I think it's huge to have friends who are in the same life position as you, who you can bounce ideas off of, or even like vent frustrations.
Yeah,
Sure. You know Alex Garrett really well, and I talk to Alex all the freaking time. He's my brother-in-law, and we both have sets of young kids navigating fatherhood, and we're both leaders at church and stuff like that, and just the balance of work and family and leading our kids in the faith. But at the same time, I mean, growing up, I felt like the more my parents put me in church, at some point I started to resent it because I didn't want it. I always call those my less Christian days when I got out of the home and I joined the military, and there comes that point where you have to make your faith your own for real. And that's that. It's tough because I don't want to see my kids make the same mistakes as I was. I was a horrible person from like 17 to like 22. Like and I remember there was a day where I was like, what happened? Why is life going so crappy? And I was like, well, maybe, that church thing, maybe that Bible, maybe a little prayer might help here or there.
No, that's good stuff, TJ.
Yeah, I feel like there's a difference like between the way our parents raised us and the way we raise our children. So it's not that like I was raised differently than I'm raising my daughter, and like you said, TJ, you're raising your children differently than your parents raised you. Just because it's a different time, and you learn things as you go along, and different information comes out, and you learn how to parent better and better through the years. Like I'm sure our parents parented way better than their parents did. Like,
correct.
And down the road, so I feel like it advances as we go on. So.
And not only is it what you've learned, but it's also what your wife has learned, and it's blending.
Correct.
Yeah,
blending those two ideas together.
That an interesting thing?
Which always adds so many more layers to everything. But I think, I think you're just at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you're just doing the best you can with the information that you have and the information that your wife has and the intuition that you both have together.
And giving yourself grace for mistakes, because there have definitely been times where Garrett, you don't have a kid yet, but there are going to be times where you go to bed and you're like, ooh, I did not handle that situation properly.
Yeah.
And it sits on you, because I'm like, I don't want to come up in my kid's therapy if there's ever therapy in the future. I don't want to be that dad took my stuffy and threw it in the garbage because he tripped on it on the stairs, because it'd been on the stairs for 24 hours and he asked 10 times. Yeah. So like, it's the learning. There's grace for you. It's a learning. I mean, we've never been parents before, so you're trying to figure it out as you go as well.
For sure.
Yeah. Definitely gotta ask for forgiveness and forgive yourself as well, because I'll tell you what, operating as a man, as a father with guilt and shame is like it's like a killer. I mean, guilt and shame
are poison.
It's you can't operate that way. You have to forgive yourself, and you have to give yourself room to screw up. It's like, you could try your hardest, you could do everything, you could read all the books, you could do everything, get all the best advice, and you're still not going to be good enough. And that's the one thing I'm learning in this season of being a dad is like, I tell the boys all the time, I'm like, look, I'm telling you these things because they're true. It doesn't mean I'm always going to follow them. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Yeah. I will literally pray in the car on the way to school, and then I want to cuss somebody out that pulls out in front of me and as soon as I'm done, it pulls out in front of me, and I'm like, guys, so it's always it's pointing your kids to, it's pointing your kids to the one that's perfect versus not trying to be the one that's perfect. So it's like, I use myself as an example with my kids all the time. It's like, hey, you remember when dad did this? Yeah, that was a great example of what not to do in that situation. So it's realizing like, wow, I'm raising these kids to point them to Christ because I'm not good enough, and that's what I tell them all the time. I said, the only good you see in me is Christ. I said, that's it. I said, the only good that you see in me is Christ.
Yeah.
And so when we're out and about and you see me, do something that's good, it's not, don't think, oh, my dad's a great guy. No, I'm not. I might be an okay dad, but it's the little bit of God in me. It's the Holy Spirit, So
Yep.
I think realizing that it allows you to free yourself from holding things that aren't even yours to hold in the first place. But also not giving yourself an excuse to go get milk and never come back home. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a fine line you walk with that.
For sure.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, man, go for it.
There was I was praying probably like 6 months ago, and something that really stuck out to me that I don't think I'd ever really addressed in me is not to be so proud that I couldn't apologize to my kids when I was wrong. And as a dad, to apologize to, and it's mostly my oldest two, because my youngest two are 4 and 3, so they're not quite like memorizing stuff, but definitely my oldest son, he is the logical kid and the very emotional, like it's either all good or it's all bad. He's that kid. And AJ, my oldest daughter, she is a full-on little princess, and handling things wrong, like, it's all good to say, oh, I'm not going to do that again, but to go up to your kid and be like, hey, I am sorry, I handled that badly. This is what I meant. It did not come across well. I feel like that models a much better relationship to them, and it definitely frees you as a parent, or at least it does for me, that I can have that conversation with my older two and be like, Daddy was wrong. I am sorry. I was frustrated. You didn't clean your room. I'd asked you for 4 days, and I lost my temper. I am sorry. Can I help you clean your room?
Yeah.
And you want to know what's even worse than that? It's when you know you made a mistake and then your wife points it out before you have a chance to fix it. And she's like, go tell her you're sorry. I'm like, now I don't want to, because you told me to.
Right.
And then you have to, and you're like, I'm sorry for
true gritted teeth. I'm so sorry.
Gordo, circling back to what you said about like giving grace for yourself, man, that was a real struggle for me when we first found out we were pregnant. And I hadn't even done anything yet. I was already like, I had this really weird kind of mind battle and realization pretty early on in our pregnancy. It was just like, we found out we're pregnant and we're just so excited. And we're sitting down at breakfast one day, just talking about like, the different things that we had learned from our parents, things that we liked, things that we didn't like. That they did that we want to do for our kids. Kind of like we talked about last episode a little bit. But I just had this realization, and I was like, man, no matter what we do and no matter how hard we try, our kids are still going to be having this exact same conversation with their spouse in like 20 years or whatever, like talking about all the horrible things that I did as a parent, or that like, and dude, like it was a real battle for me for a while, because I was like, dude, no matter what I do, like I'm gonna mess up and my kid's gonna hate me and I'm gonna like ruin them. And because most of the things that I feel like we battle with as adults are things that we're still just trying to like figure out, a lot of childhood traumas that happened to us, whether that be from our parents or not. But like, I was like, man, like this sucks. Like no matter how hard I try, no matter what I do, my kid's gonna resent me. And it was a real mind battle that I had for a while. And I just had to be like, dude, just like kind of self-talk and be like, dude, shut up. Like, you got to give yourself grace, and you have to be like, I don't want to say I was at the point of like, I don't even want to try, but like, I was like, I was like, I have to have enough grace for myself, and grace for my mistakes.
Yeah.
To know that like And I know myself well enough that I'm not going to be the type of parent that's going to mess up and then try to pull the dad card.
Gaslight your kid.
Yeah, like I'm not going to gaslight my kid and say, well, I did this because I'm dad and blah 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 blah. Like no, like
Yeah.
Or that
if I
I'm dad.
you made me do this.
you made me this way. No, like I'm gonna own up to it. I'm gonna own up to it and be like, man, I'm sorry, I missed the mark on that. Like,
Yeah.
like this is not how I wanted things to go in my mind. This is not how I pictured things to go. I'm sorry that I did this. I'm sorry, whatever. Like, let's work through this together. Like, what do you need from me? Like,
Yeah.
and it's just it was a real mind game when we first found out, and I think a lot of people struggle with that. Is just like not giving themselves enough grace.
It's a heavy weight
yeah.
when you're like, now you're responsible for a future person.
Yeah,
Like it's huge.
I
yeah.
mean, I think about it every single night. Like I'm trying to like calculate the amount of days it's been. Dominic turns 12 on the 26th of February. So it's been every single day since then, since he's been born. And even before that. So, I mean, it's been over 12 years now of just thinking about that at night. Like, what could I have done differently today?
Yeah.
That constant, and it's so funny too, because it just felt like I was on like a hamster wheel for so many years. Really, until I understood biblical principles, and then I was like, "Oh, this is how I need to raise my kids. Like, this is the truth that I need to walk in for my kiddos." And not even just that, but just like, I don't know. I do a lot of that with my kids. I mean, we laugh about a lot of things together. Like we laugh a lot about like when I was mad, about when I was like how I handled situations and stuff like that. And I think if it's like, it's kind of nice because it's like, I apologize. I never like I do freak out sometimes, but never like, not like hitting anything or whatnot. But, we laugh about some things. And we're able to talk about them real freely. So there's no like, it's never like gaslighting or anything like that. It's not like, hey, you guys made me that way and stuff like that. It's just real genuine conversations, It's just like, I don't know, it's a different way of parenting, but I often wonder that too, because I'm like, man, I am like the total opposite of the guilt and shame is sometimes I'm like, man, I crush this day as a dad. Like these kids are never gonna have anything to resent me over. You know what I mean? Like I'll have days like that. And it's usually like 5 minutes of a day. It's not a whole day, but
To end today's episode, I thought it'd be fun for us to play a little game. Say that you're home alone, hanging out in your youngest child's room, and suddenly you get an alert on your phone that all of the AI have turned against mankind, and you only have access to defend yourself and your family with what's in your baby's room. What do you grab and to defend yourself in your home? We're going to do a 4-round draft of the best items to grab, and no item can be selected more than once. We'll pick 1 through 4 and then 4 through 1, snake draft style, and see who has the best chance of survival at the end. I entered our names into a random name picker, and the order will go. Pick number 1 will be me. Pick number 2.
Oh, that seems
That's convenient.
wow. It was a random generator, I swear to God.
Pick number 2 will be Tyler. Pick number 3 will be Gordo, and pick number 4 will be TJ. With the number 1 overall pick, I feel like it was a pretty easy one for me. I went with dirty diapers.
Wow.
You are not even a dad yet.
All right, yeah, this is going to be the
where did the diapers come from? Was it like practice diapers?
Is that where you've been putting the dog poop?
It was
in the diaper genie?
No, but hear me out, dude. Dirty diapers are not only disgusting, they smell awful.
How do you know?
Okay, hear me out.
Do you actually have dirty diapers in the room right now?
No, I don't have dirty diapers in the room right now.
I'm just clearing it up for any of our listeners.
It's not really fair to me because I don't have a child physically here yet.
Okay, no, it's fair.
I figured.
So what is currently in the nursery that you could use as a weapon?
Okay, this isn't the point.
You
Is
want to
the
know what
nursery
my
done?
point is?
I'm not
It's
only-
the fact that we're fighting against robots, and you chose a stinky diaper. They
Well,
can't.
no, hear me
smell.
out, because I can throw the diaper at him. The poop smears over its face and sensors, and then it doesn't know where I'm at.
We could
You're also-
actually buy a Tesla and test this out.
This
You
is a
also
very
are
weak.
trusting the phone that told you that the AI are revolting. So the
All right.
phone has an AI.
Tyler, your pick.
All right, my number one pick. I'm going to the crib. I can break that puppy down. I can shave it down and make a bunch of shivs, or I can make a spear. I could use whatever. I can take the screws out and like
So
put
what's
it
our
in.
time? What's our timeline look like? Because Tyler's going to have enough time to go to a freaking wood shop and get all this stuff prepared.
I don't need
So
a wood shop. If you break
I'm
the
gonna
piece
break
of
it all
wood, it
down
makes
and-
it sharp.
You're going to make a shiv out of a crib with your bare hands in 5 minutes.
I didn't know we had 5. Do we have 5 minutes?
Well, that's what I'm trying to clarify. What's the timeline here?
I feel like 5-10 minutes is our time frame.
Yeah, because like they're attacking its AI. They're in your brain.
They're
You got
everywhere.
vaccinated, so it's
The
like
Amazon
you know.
drone is already in the air.
Gordo, what's your pick?
Dude, I'm going 5G. No, I'm just kidding. My pick is dude, I'm trying to
EMP.
think. Yeah, an EMP, obvious choice, dude. Hand grenade. We have a spare bed in there that has a metal bed frame. But the problem is that you could break it apart, but it's in like 3 pieces. So you'd have to get 2 people to hold each side of it, but you could jam it into AI. I mean, you could jam it into a robot, essentially.
So what was it?
So that's my first pick. It's a bed frame. It's a bed frame, but
Is
you don't
that
have
a
to take
lot
it to
like
the.
a
You don't have to
wooden
take it
crib?
to.
That sounds
It's
a lot
not
like a wooden
wood.
crib.
It's metal. No, because I don't have to take. I don't have to fabricate anything like Tyler over here.
I don't know.
I just simply break it apart.
Yeah, you just needed 3 people to take it apart and then break it down and then shave it down and then
Put it on a lathe. Get a nice sharp point.
but you're.
you just chose what I chose
else?
and made it more difficult.
I
You
feel like
No.
ridiculed your
I feel like it's the
idea
same
and
thing
then
as a
one-upped
crib.
it.
I could use. I mean, dude, there's no. I mean, we got to know what type of steel these things were made.
Oh
with.
my god, I think you're thinking way too much into it.
I agree.
Okay, dude. I would. Yeah, I'm gonna go bed frame. Bed frame.
Bedford. Okay.
I
Metal.
feel like that's the same thing as a crib, but
It's
I
not. Hey,
feel.
hey, Abe.
One's metal, one's wood.
hey,
They're
welcome.
almost identical. Just yeah,
Dude.
I'm with you, Gerber. I really am.
All right, I'll keep it the same for right now. TJ, what's your pick?
Curtain rod, because we have the freaking
God,
Let's go.
in the closet
Mm.
hanging clothes.
that's a good pick.
That's a good
Okay.
one.
I don't have to whittle it down to a point, and I don't have to break a metal bed with 3 of my best friends. A
Fair enough.
cylindrical wooden object.
So you're telling me if you called Alex right now, he would not be down to break a bed frame and
Oh,
wreck
gotta-
Elon's? Okay.
He's got to prepare for himself,
like
man.
me.
All right, you've got the next pick as well, TJ.
Ooh.
I was gonna grab the baby powder and use it as a smoke grenade.
Dang it, I had that on my list.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have gone first and grabbed diapers that aren't even dirty.
They are
And a nice
dirty.
little shelf on
Ooh,
your
I got a good one.
All right, go to your pick.
Vaseline.
Oh,
slippery. Yeah.
good pig.
That is.
See, that was also a reason for me picking dirty diapers because you could smear poop on the floor.
I mean, I was going to put it on them. I was going to put it all over myself. They couldn't catch me.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, just like the Predator.
I'm gonna go underrated pick. This is a sleeper. I'm gonna go blankets. Cover yourself in the blankets; they'll never see you. Just hold it up.
Dude, they
You
have
guys are
X-ray
taking-
vision.
You guys are
They have
taking my
X-ray
picks.
vision.
He's just a pile of dirty laundry on the ground. They're not
Tesla
even
can see a
turn it off.
pedestrian, dude.
Can they though?
I mean, not if the guy's in the backseat sleeping.
All right, for my next pick, I'm gonna go with white noise machine.
That's a good one. Yeah,
A fan.
decoy grenade.
Basically, it's not only a distraction from AI, who can't tell the difference between me and a noise machine. I can also chuck that sucker right at its face, so it's twofold.
Fair enough.
So I'm going white noise machine, and then on my third pick, I'm going to take the video baby monitor.
As a
Dang.
tactical camera.
However, it's not Wi-Fi enabled. Because if it was Wi-Fi enabled, the AI
watch
could
you.
control it. Abe, I know
Could be
you
a
don't agree
third
with
eye.
it, but man, this I need it to gain information. If I can know where the AI are at all times, most people don't have just one video baby monitor. Sometimes they have two, multiple ones. So I'm grabbing that sucker, setting them up throughout different points of my house, so I know where they're at all times. Tyler, you're up.
I think I'm gonna go the alphabet building blocks. The little blocks with the letters on them.
That's a bad pick.
Yeah, you throw them. They could be decoys, whatever you want. I think that's a pretty decent pick for the third round.
Gordo, you're up. Pick number 3.
No, I'm from the United States. You said Gordo, Europe. I thought you were like introducing me. I'm from the U.S.
Hey, dad joke there. It is.
Oh, you said no dad jokes. My bad.
Just grab the wooden shoe out of the toilet because I heard it was clogged.
Just so I would grab my neighbors.
Worth it.
God. All right. What else is in her room? We have curtain rod, but TJ said that, so I'm not gonna steal the same one. Tyler took blankets. That was like literally last on my list, so not gonna do that one.
He said that's a bad pick. He said it's my last pick.
Oh my gosh, not pillows. It would get confused with like fun and turn into a pillow fight. Probably. This is freaking tough. Probably all the water bottles I set on Evelyn's nightstand. I could just start chucking those at him. True story. I actually threw a water bottle at my wall and it stuck in the drywall. The cap first stuck in the drywall and the bottle was just sitting in the wall. So
Nice.
I have pretty good accuracy. Could chuck those suckers pretty good.
I heard cat first into the wall, and I was like, where did this story go? Like, I'm so confused. I was like, did I miss something? Like, how did the cat end up in the wall?
The water bottle hit the cat. The cat landed in the wall.
It's like, I've been to your house. You don't have a cat.
No, but I do have a hole in the wall from a water bottle. It was the wildest thing ever, dude. I just smacked it off the table because I couldn't find my car keys in the morning. I'm like, I'm going to be late. I'm going to get fired. I smacked this water bottle. It's stuck into the wall. Craziest thing I've ever seen.
All right, TJ, you're up. Your last 2 picks.
I don't know if it's too close to alphabet blocks, but I was thinking the Duplos because I can't walk on those things, so I don't expect AI to be able to walk on them either.
That's a good pick.
I'm going to show my non-dad is showing. My non-kid is showing. I don't know what
They're
a
like the
Duplo
oversized
is.
Legos.
No. I'm talking, the big ones.
They were the
Nobody can choke on them. Those kind. Lawsuit safe.
The Legos for
Lego
homeschool kids.
licensed. Ouch.
I can say it. I was homeschooled. It was also a roast on Tyler, but I wanted to settle until I said I was.
And then your last pick.
Last pick. Let's see. My last pick was going to be diapers that were used, because it was a horrible pick, not a first round at all.
Gosh.
Blackout curtains.
So you're using the curtain rod and the curtains.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
The AI shaped as a window.
I'm ready for my pick. Let's go.
All right, Gordo.
If it
What's your
blocks
last
the
pick?
heat from the sun, it can block my body heat
True.
somewhat.
Well, if he has thermal and X-ray vision,
We're effed in the A.
What's your last pick, Gordo?
Okay, so hang on. Let me think about this really quick because we have 2 attics connected to her bedroom. So I'm trying to think what I have up there.
This is going to be a 2-hour podcast.
You're a 2-hour podcast.
What?
I'll
You're
2 hour your
hell.
podcast.
Heyo.
Got wipes.
I mean, you can cut out all this thinking. Got wipes. Got wipes.
Useful when
So,
there are holes in walls.
uh, yeah, you stuff the what? You stuff the what? You stuff the wipes in there and then just paint over it. Dude, I have nothing. I have literally nothing that I could hurt anything with in that bedroom. There's nothing
You
left.
got to be creative with how you're going to use stuff, though. That's the thing.
I mean, we have in the closet, we have like a collection of old toys. So we could definitely do like a Home Alone scenario.
Yeah.
Throw them all over the floor. Yeah, that's going to be my last pick. That's all I got.
That's decent.
All I got left in there.
All right, Tyler, what do you got for your last pick?
Ready to go. It's the diaper bag because there's a little bit of everything in there. There's snacks, there's milk, there's toys.
Smart.
There's like
Very
nail
smart.
clippers. There's like literally anything you could possibly think of is in the diaper bag.
Dude.
When you
You could
first said diaper
MacGyver
bag,
pretty much anything.
when you
I
first
just
said
thought of
diaper
this
bag,
one.
I was thinking of like the diaper genie bag.
That's what I thought.
And then you were like, there's snacks in there. And I was like, well, different bag.
It took me about half a second to be like, gross. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Trash Garrett's first pick, and I pick it for my fourth.
You just pick a
Dude.
bigger version of it. For my last pick, which I feel like might be one of the best picks. I'm
Breast
surprised-
pump. Oh,
I'm surprised it made it this
My bad.
far. I feel like it should have been a pick that was taken earlier. But I am actually taking the humidifier.
ooh.
And I'm just going to throw that thing full of water at this AI bot.
So you're trusting your arm a lot in this scenario.
I
There's
thought
a
you were
lot
just
of
going to have
throw-
it
Dude,
running.
in my
Throw
heyday, I
everything.
could throw a football quarter mile over a mountain, dude. I'm not
All right,
I am.
Rico.
I've got so much confidence on my arm.
But if you
Dude,
leave that thing
I'm not-
running,
I'm not
and then
no
you
Sam
lock-
Darnold. I got an arm. All right, so my picks are dirty diapers, a white noise machine, baby monitor, and a humidifier. Tyler is taking a crib and his three best friends, blankets, letter blocks, and the
Yeah,
diaper bag. Gordo is taking the bed frame, which is similar to a crib but different. Vaseline to spread all over himself, water bottles, and old toys. And TJ is taking a curtain rod, baby powder, Duplos, and blackout curtains. Let us know who you think is going to win and survive the longest. Make sure
Pretty
to
sure
to
we're all
reach out
dead,
to
boys.
us. We're probably all dead.
I think TJ and I had the best shot.
Do I put the Vaseline on B?
Put it on the floor, man. They can't get through.
I
Do
like
put
it on you
before?
better.
Do I put it on before or after my friends get here to help me with the bed frame? That's the one.
Definitely before.
Every episode, we want to end with a question for you, our audience. You can respond on Instagram at SomehowIDad, comment and subscribe on YouTube at SomehowIDad, or email us at SomehowIDad@gmail.com. We want to know who are some of your biggest parenting influences. We look forward to hearing some of your answers during the next episode. Also, if you have any questions or topics you want us to talk about, please reach out on Instagram or email as well. Thank you all so much for listening. Please give us 5 stars and a review on whatever platform you're listening on. Until next time,
I'm Gordo.
I'm Tyler.
I'm TJ.
and I'm Garrett. Remember that being good enough isn't the goal. The goal is progress over perfection. Let's all try to be a little bit better this week than we were last week. You got this. Love you. Bye.